Hey, Joe. Hey, Aurora. How are Taz and Alice doing today? Hey, Larry. Hey, Fern. Yeah, not much has changed there then. Hey, Kimberly. I have not heard from Melanie since she left work a little while ago. She was going home to check on her, so I'm assuming no news is good news. Hopefully she'll be able to eat something and keep it down tonight. I think she was pretty miserable yesterday. Hey, Lynette. Yeah, me too. You look so happy, Lily. Yeah, that's my hope. But the whole not eating or drinking anything for a day and a half was kind of concerning. Well, I can't say she didn't eat at all. She did eat a couple of times, but she ended up getting sick shortly after she ate, so it was pretty much like not eating. But I guess most everybody is still here, or is here now, so we can go over kind of how I'm envisioning this happening. So, better up. We have a company, and I'll probably make this video unlisted after this, just so nobody sees it that doesn't need to see it. Not going to say anything bad on it or anything, but this week is the week of our little company Christmas gathering deal, and with that comes an influx of people into the office, and there has been no mention of the cats or anything like that to me or to anybody up here, but there's been some concern amongst the people that work on this floor that some folks might make their way upstairs and not be real happy with the number of cats here. So here's the deal. I talked to the girl that's adopting these two. The initial plan was for them to go to her today. She's not quite ready and asked if I could keep them for a few more days. I said, yeah, we'll make something work there. So tomorrow evening, sometime tomorrow afternoon, I'm gonna board them until Wednesday evening at the earliest, sometime Thursday at the latest, and then they will come back until she's ready to be adopted, or until they are ready to be adopted. This guy is not going to get adopted sitting here, and I don't know if she will either. So think I made the decision that tomorrow, it may be tomorrow night before I do it, I'm going to take them to PetSmart and get them set up, hopefully in the same cage, so they'll be able to comfort one another. And I really hope she doesn't scream like she screams here when I leave, because that's going to kill me. I don't know. I've procrastinated taking Copper up there for I don't know how long. I guess in the back of my mind I thought maybe he could stay here, but I don't know. If it doesn't work out and he doesn't get adopted in a couple of weeks, he can come back here and take a break, and then we'll hit the reset button and see what happens after that. But I want to give him a fair shot to get adopted before I try to force a square peg into a round hole. Poor Caitlin has been up there for 3 weeks now, and it's kind of hard to pull her and bring her back here to give her a break when all these guys are here. So Laura has offered to pull her and put her in a room by herself at her house, and give her a break for a little bit. She needs a break because she's so antsy in there. I mean, she loves to get out of that cage, and she gets kind of grumpy when you pick her up and put her back in it. And I feel terrible for her because I thought she would have been adopted by now. But yeah, I will probably have to shut the stream down in the kittens room, at least for the day, until these two knuckleheads are back. Just because I don't know what's known as far as the cameras and whatnot, and I don't want the boss's wife to go back there and be like, what is this? And have to explain all of that. And then, I don't know. I don't think it's an issue, but I don't want to make anybody mad at the same time. So I'm just being extremely cautious with this. Like I said, nobody's communicated anything to me about the cats or anything like that, but we're just kind of taking preemptive measures to avoid a conflict. And we're supposed to get new floors up here in January. At least that was the plan. So that would be extra incentive for a building owner to walk up here and look at the floors. Hopefully they won't look at the spot by the door where this one and a couple of the others have combined to rip some carpet up in an attempt to get out of that room. But that's where we are. So Wednesday, when there's lots of folks in the building, there will be Clara, Stumpy, and Lily. And I'm hoping that I can put Victoria and Copper in the same cage. My only concern there is how Copper likes to eat. I mean, it may be that we just I have to go in and supervise mealtime or something and not leave a bunch of food in there, which means I might be making 2 trips to PetSmart a day. I don't know. But he's not like most of the cats that go up there, and we can leave just a dish of food sitting out for him all the time, because Copper will just sit there and chow away at it. So yeah, that's what's going on for the next couple of days. I'm going to get Copper in hopefully tomorrow and get his eye checked one more time and make sure there's nothing else that they've missed or that they can think of as to why his eye is watering like it does. I mean, it just may be how it is. We suspected he got his eye injured or something in one of his skirmishes when he was outside, and that's just what it's going to do. But I told Laura I didn't want to bring anything into the adoption room and mess with the other cats. I don't think he's contagious because none of these guys have come down with anything, and they roll around and play with him all the time. So hopefully we'll get him seen tomorrow, hopefully late in the afternoon, where I can take Ozzy and Devin at the same time, and they can spend the night there and really hope they'll come back Wednesday evening so they don't have to stay there long. They've already served their time at PetSmart, so. But they're pretty agreeable about most things, so I don't think they'll be too worse for the wear. Copy, you're right in front of the screen there. So yeah, questions, comments, concerns. Oh, and I meant to say, I'm sorry, I have not had a close-up in about a week now, but we, it's just been busy. Christmas is coming up, and I got Christmas lights up and Christmas trees and this, that, and the other. Just haven't had a lot of time to spend up here in the evenings to do them after work. I guess I could have done one on Saturday, but this has all been kind of bouncing around in my head for a few days. It would be, Larry, but that door doesn't have a lock on it. The main access door. Could lock that door back there. But I don't know. She needs a home. I can't keep her as much as I want to, and as much as it kills me to let her go, because this cat is like glue to me all day long. I'm okay boarding Ozzy and Devin for a day or two at the most, because I know what their outcome is going to be. Copper bugs me. Because I've had him since July. Was that about 5 months now? Maybe 4.5. I don't remember exactly what part of July it was when I got him. But yeah, I'm with you, Larry. I would rather just lock the door and keep everyone out, but I don't own the building, so I really don't have authority to do that. But no, I mean, it was suggested that we get this entire floor all cleaned up, and we've been kind of doing that. That office back there on the right used to just be completely full of junk, and we've gone through that and mostly eliminated all of that, and a lot of it was strewn out here. There's still, a couple boxes here and there that we have to find a place for. They may just go back in there, but there was just a ton of stuff. And the cats had a field day with that, because there was 50 boxes out here. But this one is on Pet Finder. She's been on Facebook for over a week. No inquiries as of yet. So. And I hate to be Debbie Downer for the first close-up I've had in a week, but as I say, it's just kind of been rattling around in my head on how this needed to go down. I think Copper will do fine at PetSmart, just because he's a pretty agreeable cat. Victoria, I am not so sure. Yeah, and that's what one of my coworkers said, that she would probably be adopted pretty quick. I don't know if that's going to be the case if I stipulate that she and Copper go together. See, this is what I deal with all day. Well, if I knew it wouldn't add to the drama at home, one or both of these guys would go home with me, but in the same breath, we just do not have the room. We don't have the room, and we have some very moody cats. Yeah, like I said, she stays glued to me. Oh, come on, phone, flip around. What are you doing, phone? She stays pretty much glued to me all day long, to the point where I'll start wondering where she is if she's not either in my lap or in the bed next to me. Yeah, and I'm going to do my best not to let that happen with these guys. We send a letter home with all of the adoptions through Paws that say, 10 days, 10 weeks, 10 months, 10 years, whatever. Let us know if you can't keep the animal. Don't take it to the shelter. We will take the animal back. No questions asked. So I hope that will avoid anything like that. Our adoptions have been kind of slow, or slowed down a little bit in December from what they were. Of course, we haven't had as many cats at PetSmart as we've had past couple of months either. But yeah, my plan will be that assuming I get him an appointment tomorrow, I will probably take him along with Ozzy and Devin. And Ozzy and Devin, my goal is to get the appointment as late in the day as possible, and then Ozzy and Devin can just stay there for the evening, and I'll bring Copper back by here and do one more close-up before I take him to PetSmart. I've got to get that room cleaned up in case the inevitable happens and people come up here. So there can be no evidence of what's going on in there for the past 4 months, I guess. But I'm really hoping they can figure out something with his eye. And he also needs a nail trim. Again. Well, I think when I do my cleanup, I'll take the cat tree out. That cat tree in there is so wobbly, and it's falling apart. I'll probably just take that out of there completely, throw it in the back of my truck, and take it home. Well, the party is not going to be here. The concern is during the day, Wednesday before the party. I guess it'll start around lunch here in town at a local restaurant. They reserve a room and we go eat lunch and all that. The concern is prior to that. When the big boss is here and his wife, or the big bosses, I should say. They usually like to walk around and visit, so. And it may be a complete non-issue, but I kind of need a kick in the pants to motivate myself to take these guys to PetSmart to be adopted. As I say, they're not getting the exposure here as they would there. They're on Pet Finder and they're on Facebook, but I still don't think that competes with the foot traffic. And like with all of them, there will be a hold put on them. Nobody is just going to walk in and walk out with them. I'm going to have to approve the application and all that stuff. So there will be some scrutiny before anybody is allowed to adopt them. But yeah, I recorded, I guess it was it Saturday? I think it was Saturday when I was up here. When I left and I closed their door, I recorded the screams that Victoria makes, and I sent them to Laura, and I said, this is what she does every day when I leave. So yeah, that's all my depressing news for today. I think I've pretty much covered it all. But hopefully it will be a happy ending for all involved. Yeah, tell me about it. It will be especially bad if she does it there, which is why I want to put Copper and her together. Well, I'm pretty confident that Ozzy and Devin have a pretty good home waiting for them. It's just the unknown that makes this more difficult than it probably has to be. I may see if one of my coworkers gave me one of those timer controlled feeders. I may see if I gave it to Laura to use for paws. I may see if she still has it, and if she's not using it, I'll put that in the cage with them. I think it had 2 feeding things, and it'll just open 2 or 3 times a day or whatever. And maybe that'll keep Mr. Piggy from chowing down on all the food and not leaving Victoria any. That's the catch to having them at PetSmart, is how are we gonna manage his food intake and make sure that Victoria gets some of it. Yeah, and I mean, it may not work. Or it may be, like I said, that I have to go up there at least once a day. They can be supervised when whoever cleans the cages in the morning is there, and then I can go up in the evening and make sure she's got something to eat. I don't know, as far as employee responsibility and what their roles are at PetSmart, I don't know. I don't see them do a whole lot. There is like an employee check sign-in sheet, like they check off that they've been in there, but I don't know what they look for when they go in there or anything like that. I guess I should ask that question. Maybe they can provide some assistance there, but I hate leaving that to chance. So I feel like I bummed everybody out now. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, I mean, Copper belonged to somebody somewhere along the way, but I don't know. I don't know how well he was taken care of, even if he was somebody's cat. But there's no way he's the way he is without having somebody that paid attention to him at some point. He still has some manners to work on. He still thinks he's a kitten and can just grab on and all that like kittens do, and it not really hurt that bad. And he's gotten better about it, but every now and then he plays too rough. He's never hurt the kittens or anything. When I say he plays rough, mainly with me. And he can't go to a house where there's an elderly person or somebody that's prone to falling, because when it's dinner time, he's gonna be at your feet. I mean, I've not totally fallen down, but he's almost tripped me a couple of times just because he's doing his best to get your attention and be in your way until he gets what he wants. He made me feel bad because I guess it was Saturday or Sunday. Hey, bring that back. Where are you taking that? Saturday or Sunday he did it, and I mean, I didn't see him, and he caught my foot in stride. I don't think I kicked him in the head or anything. I might have just kicked him in the shoulder or something, but it probably didn't feel good. It made me feel bad. But I mean, he's all stealth and runs in front of your feet when you're trying to walk. But now you guys know what I know. I'm not going to perceive PetSmart as a bad thing. Percy got adopted from PetSmart. Devin and Ozzy have been adopted from PetSmart. Countless other cats have gotten great homes from PetSmart. So it's more of just a selfish reasoning for not wanting to take her or Copper. I had an offer from a coworker to watch Copper for me, but I'm just afraid I'm never gonna even try to let him go if I don't do this now. So I'm kind of forcing myself to do it. Plus, she needs the company. Devin said he's done. Well, if I've said it once, I've said it a million times. I would keep all of them if I could, and I would just be a crazy person, but I just don't have the space for any more. I mean, we're stretching the limits of how much space we have in the house we're in now, so. Yeah, and I know they will be. I mean, as long as they're, even if they're at PetSmart, as long as they're under the care of Paws, they'll be taken care of. But it's just the whole leaving them there and all that. And I went through the same thing with Ozzy and Devin. I mean, it's not something I haven't dealt with before. Just leaving them there by themselves. It's like abandoning a child or something. On the bright side, maybe we can control his food intake a little bit better and he can lose a little weight. Now, I wasn't able to get up here, but for maybe a couple of hours yesterday, I had to do the cages at PetSmart, and we got our Christmas tree yesterday and had a ton of laundry I needed to get done and this, that, and the other. I mean, I was nonstop all day, so I didn't get to spend that long up here. Now I forget where I was going with that. I was going to tell you something. It escapes me. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. I had to leave which I hate doing with this guy. I had to fill up the feeder with dry food so the other cats could, eat something later on. And I never know when I leave how much this one is going to eat of it. So I always end up leaving more than what I probably should leave. And then in all likelihood, he probably eats even more because I leave more. Back in the day, I could fill up the feeder for Lily and Stumpy, and it would be, they would eat when they were hungry, and that was it. Not this one. Clara got a little pudgy herself from the feeder. But she is trimmed down quite a bit, so. Now there's a cat over there walking on my keyboard, hopefully not killing the stream. So, hopefully I haven't depressed everyone, and not any more than it's depressed me pondering over this and coming to this decision, but I hope it's in the best interests of me and whoever might get mad at cats being here, and particularly these guys, because heck, I've had them for Copper for 4.5, 5 months, and I think it was middle August when I got. I think it was middle of August when I got the Caitlin and the Kittens. I have to go back and check the exact date. They were 3 weeks old, and I think we theorized they were probably born around the 30th, 31st of July. So, long enough to get attached to everybody. Let's put it that way. So I guess with all that, I will leave it to you all to mull that over, and I guess I need to get home and see if I can help Melanie. I'm still not done with laundry, and I need to see how Luna's doing. Surely she's fine if she has not been blowing my phone up yet, so. But as I say, my plan tomorrow is I'm going to take Devin and Ozzy with him, hopefully late in the afternoon. And you won't see Devin and Ozzy tomorrow afternoon, but they'll be back. And then I'll do one last close-up, possibly one last close-up, depending on how things go, with Mr. Copper and Miss Victoria. So, guys, plan on being here for that tomorrow. And if anything changes between then and now, I don't know why it would, but if it does, we'll keep you all posted. But thank you, everybody. Sorry to be such a bummer tonight. Hopefully it'll make tomorrow a little easier to get everything out of the open tonight. So, but thanks, everybody. Hope you all have a good night, good day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.